Hello and welcome our viewers to another episode of your show Hobbies Catalog. For today's episode, our hobby will be violinist. And we have a special guest, Mr. Abdullah Al-Khraybit. He's going to tell us everything we need to know about his hobby and his journey. And now without further ado, let's begin. Welcome back our viewers. Right now I have with me Mr. Abdullah Al-Khraybit and he plays the violin. How are you, Mr. Abdullah?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good, all good. Thank you for being here with us at the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me too.
You're welcome. Mr. Abdullah, your hobby is violin and it's called a violinist for you, right?
Yes, we are called violinists.
Violinist. And for how many years you've been practicing your hobby?
I've been playing it for 3 to 4 years now.
And can you tell us the story, how you played it and why did you choose it?
I started playing it back in high school as my first ever instrument.
That's 4 years ago.
Yes, exactly. I had the option to play either the piano, the guitar, or the violin. But after hearing the sound of the violin, I told myself, no, I want to play the violin.
You found more connection in the violin?
Yes.
And before that you were playing on the piano?
No, I had no musical knowledge actually.
Even for the violin, before you played the piano or the violin, you didn't have any musical knowledge?
No, I never played an instrument prior. The only thing I did was I loved to listen to a lot of different types of music, you know. But my first ever instrument I played was the violin.
And you found more connection, it's connected more to your heart, right?
Yeah, it connected with my heart. I felt like I could really share my emotions, you know. It's a very sensitive instrument.
And Mr. Abdullah, since you had the three choices between piano, guitar and violin, why you had the three choices between these three for your hobby? Why? I mean, you have too many choices. You have to pick a sport hobby, visual arts hobby, like maybe painting or photography or any hobby. Why you chose these three?
That's a good question. So back in high school we had electives. You know, we had like a sport and art or a music elective. So I went with music because I felt like I really relate to it. I love the idea of playing an instrument. So my school offered between these three choices. You know, they could have offered more, but we had these three choices.
And of course, Mr. Abdullah, so at the time when you were in the high school, they asked you to choose between these three.
Yes.
And accidentally, it becomes a hobby and the passion has risen on your heart for the music.
Yes, exactly, 100%. It was genuinely a dream for me just to play a song on the violin, let alone publicly perform at it, you know? So, you know...
When did you perform after learning for the violin? After 1 year of learning?
My first time ever performing was in high school, 1 year after me learning the violin.
Okay, the violin is actually one of the hardest instruments. It's known that's one of the hardest.
Yes.
And performing in 1 year, that means you are a good learner, or the performance turned out to be bad. Or you're good learner.
Oh, alhamdulillah, it went smooth.
That's a good thing. That means you're a good learner.
Yeah. But look, I feel like even if it's so tough, if you really love doing something, you wouldn't care if it was tough or it took you
too long.
10 hours to 10 hours a day of literally playing.
Because you love it.
Yeah, you know, but it's not healthy to play 10 hours, but oh yeah.
Have you ever played 10 hours in your house? Like straight 10 hours or 5 hours in home?
Honestly, in the beginning, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Respect for the family to handle you.
Oh yeah, they had to listen.
They had to listen.
Yeah, yeah.
They never like broke the violin or maybe threatened you to throw you out of the house.
Maybe.
You took your time to answer me that.
Yeah, maybe.
You will remind me yourself. Okay. And Mr. Abdullah, that's a good thing if you having your hobby. But you started on your high school, right? And for the university, you didn't maybe choose College of Music, maybe to learn of the violin more, or you choose it as a study?
Oh, that's a very, very good. That's a good question.
You've never thought about it?
I have, but it's complicated, you know.
It's complicated.
Like I love music a lot, but playing it professionally or getting money from it is a completely different
different.
story.
When you try to make money out of it.
Yes, it becomes when you turn a hobby into a job, it becomes full time. It becomes
something you might get bored.
Yes,
Yes.
Exactly. Music can become boring, but I firmly believe it's possible to still play professionally even without a music degree. Like I get inspired by a lot of other musicians who never went to university, but they are still making music full time.
Okay,
If that
Abdullah,
makes
before the
sense.
interview, I was sitting with you and your mom, and all the thanks for your mom for the great support that she gives you. She told us that you never went of studying for the violin or any musical things. You only had a private teacher to teach you how to read the tunes and the notes for the music, right?
Yes, this is the beginning. Yeah.
And
Okay.
after that, you've never had like a private courses or a teacher for the violin, right?
Oh, no, the truth is I have at later stages, maybe see.
Yeah, you had
Yes.
because if you want to perform a professional music or
Yeah.
rhythms, it needs a private
Yeah,
coach.
no,
Even the coach needs a coach.
Yeah. You cannot be a master at something without a master, like imagine wanting to build like a skyscraper, but you want to start from zero, like okay, try to do that.
Even the best, even at the gyms, when you see a bodybuilder, the best at the gym, he needs a coach, and the coach needs a
Oh
coach.
yeah, because you don't need to reinvent the wheel, like if someone is already a master at the violin, why waste your time? If that makes any sense. But like in the beginning stages, I had to, before discovering teachers or knowing people, people who give me advice, tips, I had to do everything on my own, like from the.
Okay. And Abdullah, of course, I'm not. I need to ask you about the family support, but we already know who's the biggest supporter.
Oh yeah, my mother.
Your mom.
My mother definitely supports
And
me.
how is the family support from the other members of the family?
Oh, this is a good question. It vastly differs from from my parents to other family members. Like for example, not all of my family particularly enjoys music.
Not all of them listen to it. Even in the cars, maybe they listen to the radio. So yes.
Yes, exactly. I mean, some listen to music, but they don't like the idea of creating music. But like, it's always nice to have support, but not necessary. I feel like the parents backing me up is
It's enough.
Yes,
It's enough. Exactly. Especially the mom. Mom is enough.
Yes,
Seriously.
yes, exactly.
And all the thanks for your mom for the
Yes,
support again.
thank you.
And I heard that you are also composing music.
Yes, I like to compose music. Exactly.
When did you start of composing?
I started back in the pandemic.
Back in the pandemic.
Yes, this is. I dabbled in music production before the pandemic, but the pandemic is when I had the time.
We had too much time.
Yes.
I mean, if you train for something during the pandemic, whatever it is, that equals 5 years to a regular years. Because during the pandemic, 24 hours, you're inside the house, and you will train at least the whole time when you wake up.
Yeah, there was no going out during the pandemic.
You have nothing to do except practicing your hobby.
Yeah, the only thing I could do during the pandemic is genuinely practice.
But something happened to your violin?
Huh?
Something happened to your
Oh
violin.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us the story?
Unfortunately, a few days before the pandemic hit, we had no idea there was gonna be a lockdown.
And there's something happened to your
Yeah,
violin?
basically my sister decided to grab my bow. I don't know if you know what a bow is. It's like the stick for the violin. She
Yeah.
to cut the hair.
She cut the violin. She cut the bow for the violin.
Yes.
Okay. A few days. Okay, she either knows the future or she's jealous because of the attention at you.
I'm not sure. She was at a very young age. Also.
Yeah.
She was very young.
How old is she at the time?
She was like 5, 5.
5 to 4 years ago.
Yeah,
5 to
yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
And she did that. She knows the future. She knows that there's gonna be lockdown, and she's said to herself like, I will not handle listening to this violin over and over.
Okay.
1 year at the lockdown.
Okay, understandable.
I understand it. Actually, if I were her, I would do the same thing.
I don't know how she predicted it.
But she did.
I had no clue there was gonna be a lockdown. I got so surprised,
And that's answered the other question, which is you practice where? And I think you practice at your home, right?
Yes, I practice at my home. I fortunately have a basement at home, but okay. During the pandemic, I was going to my room, going to the basement, changing spots and routine.
Yeah,
Yes.
changing the weather and
Yeah.
doing something different.
Yeah, nowadays I feel much more inspired just practicing in my room. I started not to really care if I know that.
Yeah, you have to be careful if you want to practice on your own.
Yeah, but I have a muter on the violin. I tried to mute.
There's actually a device you plug it into the violin and you can listen to your own music.
But
You have
I play an acoustic, acoustic, which means there's no headphone, but there's like a small piece I can add to the violin, and it will make it quieter.
Quieter.
Yes, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's a good thing. Or you can just do the easier thing, work out a little bit, go into the basement. That's cardio, like from your room to the basement.
Yeah.
Because the basement is better.
Oh yeah.
And you don't want to piss your little sister because they are the most dangerous members of the family. They can do whatever they want and they will not be punished.
Yeah.
A little sister, it's way dangerous.
I don't think she got punished.
Actually, the most thing that I'm afraid of is my little sister because she can do whatever she wants at my stuff, and I cannot yell at her or I cannot punish her or do anything because I will be punished.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to be careful.
Yes.
And do you have, Mr. Abdullah, do you have members that you practice with for the music when you try to do composing, like a guitarist or pianist?
Let me think.
Maybe friends?
I actually don't really have family members who play instruments. But in terms of friends, of course, I have collaborated with my friends.
You have works together.
Yes, I have worked with friends. Like it's very easy to okay, I have a friend who plays piano, so I told them, okay, let's just
do something together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Composing music.
Yes, composing or playing piano or even guitar or even singing, like composing an instrumental and then asking a friend who sings, come join.
So, Mr. Abdullah, since it's Ramadan right now, and I wanted to ask you about when do you practice and how do you practice your hobby during Ramadan?
How do I practice? So for Ramadan, I'm gonna take a short break until Ramadan ends. I'm gonna spend most of my time with my family. It's a very good time to get close with family members, to increase
the connection between you and your family.
Yes, also spiritually, increase my connection.
That's a good thing. Unfortunately, we don't have more time for the interview because I think for you, Mr. Abdullah, we need more than 30 minutes, not 15 minutes.
Thank you so much.
And I had really fun. Thank you for all the information that we had, and I wish to see you one day playing in the opera.
Thank you.
The World Opera.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And thank our viewers for watching this episode. Hope you like it and enjoyed it, and see you in our next episodes.